Alright, I'm coming. Big Bone Lake. Here we go. The Park of Big Bone Lake is the single most important archaeological site in all of the United States. Big Bone gave birth to paleontology studies in the United States. John Folsom in 1744-ish would map this place for the first time using indigenous Americans to do so, and they described it as a place that had salt water and big bones. The salt water, which was, the salt was left over from an ancient ocean and a spring was coming through and it was making salt water. But it was believed to have all these healing powers and things like that, often like mineral water was back in the day. Fast forward to 1803. Meriwether Lewis would travel to Kentucky and he would find these big bones and he would send them back to President Jefferson. Jefferson then would kind of flip out. Immediately for the next 3 to 4 years sent people west looking for these massive creatures with these giant elephant-like bones. Now, William Clark would go back under the president's orders into the first paleontology dig in the United States, where they took all of these bones out of the ground. They sent them back to the president. He displayed them in the White House for a while. He had a section of the room dedicated to it. As they began to dig into this big bone park, they would find, stag moose and saber-toothed cats and ground sloths and other species that are no longer with us. What happens when you have an area where a former ocean used to be that's full of salt, which animals love because it helps their digestive system, but you have crushed Appalachian mountains, this water coming up, all this ice melting, end of ice age, creates this marsh-like environment which all of these animals that were trying to get to salt water got stuck in, and kind of created a tar pit type of situation with no tar. Now, after you visit Big Bone, make sure you stop into Climax, Kentucky, where you can have Climax drinking water, see the Climax Springs, or go to the Climax Holiness Church, only in Kentucky.